The definition of a quadrantal triangle. A spherical triangle is said to be a quadrantal triangle if any one of its sides is 90 degrees. If any one side of a spherical triangle measures up to 90 degrees, then we call that spherical triangle as a quadrantal triangle. Next, oblique spherical triangle. Spherical triangles are said to be oblique spherical triangles if none of the included angles or 2 or 3 of the included angles are 90 degrees. Suppose if we have a spherical triangle with exactly one angle to be 90 degree, then that spherical triangle is called as a right triangle. Next we will see Napier's rule. A Napier's rule is applied only in a right triangle. That is, if one angle of a spherical triangle is 90 degrees only, we can apply this Napier's rule. The Napier's rule statement is as follows. Sine of middle part equals product of tangents of adjacent parts. And the second rule is sine of middle part is equal to product of cosines of opposite parts. So before understanding this definition, you should know what a middle part, adjacent part and opposite parts are. For that, I've considered this spherical right triangle ABC and I marked the 90 degrees at the vertex C. I've marked the sides also as small a, small b and small c. Now we'll see what is meant by a middle part, adjacent part and opposite part. Okay. Now the 90 degrees is at angle C in this spherical triangle. In general, for a spherical triangle, we have 6 components, that is 3 sides and 3 angles. Out of this, one angle is 90 degrees. Okay, this angle C is 90 degrees. Keep this as such. Remaining, how many components are there? 5 components are there. That is 2 angles and 3 sides are there. So draw a circle with 5 segments. I've drawn a circle with 5 segments. Okay. Now consider the sides of the spherical triangle or the components which hold this 90 degrees. Okay, we have here this side A and this side B holds this 90 degrees. Write those 2 components as such, small b and small a, in 2 of the sections. Okay, now remaining, what all is left? We have 2 more angles and 1 side. We have this angle A, angle B and this side, because we have omitted this 90 degrees and we have written already these 2 sides. The remaining 3 components are this angle A, side C and angle B. So for the remaining components, you should write the complements of these things. So instead of A, you should write 90 minus A. Instead of small c, you should write 90 minus small c. And instead of B, you should write 90 minus B. See, we have filled up the remaining captions like this: 90 minus A, 90 minus C and 90 minus B. Okay, now this is how you should fill up this circle. Now depending upon a problem, you can choose whatever your middle part to be. For example, I have chosen here small b to be the middle part. Then what lies next to B is here small a and here 90 minus A. These 2 will be called adjacent components to B. Okay, so if B is the middle part, small a and 90 minus A are adjacent to it, they are the adjacent parts, and the portions opposite to B are 90 minus B, 90 minus A. So these 2 will be called as the opposite parts. So for example, if I am applying this first rule here, means I'll have sine B to be equal to product of tangents of adjacent parts. So these are the adjacent parts. So sine B is equal to tan 90 minus A into tan small a. Similarly, if I apply the second rule, I will get sine B is equal to cos 90 minus C into cos 90 minus B. So this is how we should apply Napier's rule. Do keep in mind that if the triangle is not a right triangle, you cannot apply Napier's rule. And in order to remember these rules, you can use this short form. It's called as the sine TAD rule. That is, sine of middle part is equal to tangent of adjacent parts. And this is the sine Coop rule. That is, sine of middle part is equal to cosine of opposite parts. We'll see an application of the Napier's rule. If B be the side of an equilateral triangle BCD and B dash be a side of its polar triangle, show that cos B by 2 into cos B dash by 2 is 1 by 2. So I'll begin with the left hand side. We have cos B by 2 into cos B dash by 2. And we have studied in supplemental cosine theorem there is a relationship between the angles and sides of a spherical triangle as well as the polar triangle. This B dash is the side of a polar triangle. So I'm writing that in terms of angles of spherical triangle. So I can write B dash as 180 degrees minus B. This is we have already studied earlier. So that's a 2 in the denominator. I'm keeping this 2 as such. and when you simplify this, you will get it as cos 90 minus b by 2. Cos 90 minus theta is sin theta. So finally we have cos b by 2 into sin capital B by 2. Alright, I have drawn this equilateral spherical triangle here, BCD. Since this is an equilateral triangle, the sides will be equal and the angles will be equal. Alright, okay. See, in this problem, we are dealing with cos b by 2, that is small b by 2, and capital B by 2, which means in this triangle, we are not making use of this whole length small b, and we are not making use of this whole angle capital B. We have to bisect this. So what we are doing is we are drawing a perpendicular from this vertex B to this side CD. So when I draw a perpendicular, since this is an equilateral triangle, it will bisect this angle and will become b by 2, and this side also will become small b by 2, and this will be another small b by 2. Alright, so we have another triangle like this, BND, where this angle is 90 degrees and the side length is b by 2, and this angle length becomes capital B by 2. I've just marked this as a small m, and the side opposite to angle n is small n. Alright, now what we are going to do is, I'm going to apply sine rule here. Okay, we are going to find sine of capital B by 2. Since now we have a right triangle here, we can make use of the Napier's rule. So before applying Napier's rule, we'll just write all the 5 components, write what is the middle part, adjacent part and opposite part. Okay, now I have drawn a circle with 5 sections in it. Here angle n is the 90 degrees, so just don't consider this angle, and m and b by 2 are the sides which hold this 90 degree. So I am writing it as m and next b by 2. And what are the remaining components? This angle b by 2, this side small a, and this angle d. For the remaining thing, we should write the complement of the respective components, that is 90 minus b by 2, 90 minus n, 90 minus angle d. Alright, and since we have sine capital B by 2, we are going to apply Napier's rule. Napier's rule usually begins with sine of a particular part. So in order to find sine of B by 2, I am looking for the component which contains capital B by 2. So this is the component which has capital B by 2. So I am taking this to be my middle part. So you should be careful while choosing a middle part. Don't just choose anything. See which is relating to our problem. Okay, so I have chosen 90 minus b by 2 to be the middle part. Then m and 90 minus n will be the adjacent parts, and b by 2 and 90 minus d will be the opposite parts. Again, while applying Napier's rule, don't just apply any rule you want. There are 2 rules. Don't apply any rule. You should first see which is relating to our problem. See, if you take m and 90 minus n, if you are applying sine TAD rule, it will be sine of middle part is equal to tangent product of tangents of adjacent part. This m and this n have no use in our problem. We are not making use of m and n anywhere in our problem. So avoid this adjacent portions and consider the opposite part. In the opposite part, you have small b by 2. In our problem, we have small b by 2. So you should choose the one which is more relating to our problem. Okay, so since we have b by 2 in the opposite portions, I'm going to make use of the sine coup rule, where sine of middle part is equal to product of cosines of opposite part. So sine of 90 minus b by 2 is equal to cos b by 2 into cos 90 minus d. Sine 90 minus theta is cos theta. This is cos b by 2. Again, cos 90 minus theta is sin theta. As I've said earlier, BCD is an equilateral triangle, so all the angles will be equal. So angle D will be equal to angle B. Now this sentence is rewritten as cos B by 2, which is equal to cos small b by 2, into this angle D. I am replacing it by sin B. So from the previous step, we get cos B by 2 to be equal to cos capital B by 2 into sin B. We have already have the first equation, cos b into cos b dash by 2 to be equal to cos b by 2 into sin b by 2. In the place of cos small b by 2, we are going to substitute what we have already found. So from 1, you will have your left hand side to be equal to cos capital B by 2 divided by sin b into sin capital B by 2. Alright, next, see, the right hand side should be just a number 1 by 2. That's what we have to prove. So we have to somehow eliminate all the cos and the sine terms. So what I'm doing is I'm expressing this sign in terms of cos and sine. We have a trigonometry formula identity. Sine 2x is equal to 2 sine x into cos x. So in the place of 2x we have here b. So sine b is equal to 2 sine b by 2 into cos b by 2. I've just written that formula here. And your sine b by 2 will be cancelled. Similarly, your cos b by 2 also, you'll be left with just 1 by 2. Hence proved. Next, we'll see another application of 4-part formula. The great circle distance between two positions A and B is given to be 2100 nautical miles. Given that A is on the equator, where the great circle course is 37 degrees, calculate GC course at B and the difference of longitude between A and B. Now I have depicted this question in a diagram. So we were given that A is a point on the equator and B is some other point. It's not particularly mentioned on the equator, so I have just taken it somewhere else. And the distance between these 2 points is given to be 2100 nautical miles. We were asked to find the difference in longitude between these 2 positions. See, corresponding to point A, through this point we will have one longitude, and corresponding to this point B, through this point we'll have another longitude. We are asked to find the difference in longitude between these 2 points. So I've taken this point, this pole P. We have to calculate this angle in order to find the difference of longitude between these 2 points. Okay, so I'm joining this point P with A, and this A and B are joined, and similarly this point B is joined with P. So now what else we have is, we have this distance to be 2100 nautical mile. And since A is a point on the equator, the distance between any point on the equator to the pole is always 90 degrees. So we know this length, and the great circle course at A is given to be 37 degrees. This is nothing but the angle A is given to be 37 degrees. So we have this angle this side and similarly this side. Okay, so in this spherical triangle I have just written what all is given, and we this side small p is given in terms of nautical miles. We have 2100 nautical mile. I am just converting into degrees so that it will be easier for calculation. 1 nautical mile is given to be 1 by 60 degrees. So we have 2100 nautical mile, which is 2100 divided by 60 degrees. This is nothing but 35 degrees. Okay, so we have a side small p to be 35 degrees. In order to find the difference of longitude between A and B, we have to find this angle small p. Okay, so now what is all in our hand is, we have 2 sides, that is length of 2 sides, and 1 angle. So whenever 2 angles and a side is given, or 2 sides and an angle are given, we can make use of 4-part formula. So that's what I've written here. Small b, small p and capital A are given. So we are going to make use of 4-part formula. But in that formula, we need 4 components to write the question, to write the formula. So another one component is going to be our capital P. So we have small p, capital P. So there is one identical pair side and an angle with the same letter. Next we have another one side, another one angle. So we have 4 components. Now we can write the 4-part formula. So take the side and angle which are not identical. So we have cos b, cos A to be equal to, in your right hand side with the same letters B and capital A, you will have sin B term, sin capital A. Next, consider this pair, identical pair. You will write cot P into sin B minus, make use of this angle, so you will have cot P. So this first term has full of side, it contains only sides, and the second term will contain only angles. Just now substitute the values which you know, and we can see here that cos 90 degree is 0, so the left hand side vanishes off. In the right hand side, in the first term we have sin 90 degree, which is 1, so we are left with just 0 equals cot 35 degrees minus cot p into sin 37 degrees. So I am just keeping cot p in one side, and we are finding that cot p is 1 by sin 37 degrees into tan 35 degrees. If you just substitute in the calculator, you will get the value to be 2.373068055. This cot value always lies between -1 to 1. but we have here the value to be greater than 1, 2 point something. So what we have to do is we have to write this cot in terms of tan. So I'm replacing it as tan 90 minus p is equal to the right hand side. Next I'm finding tan inverse of the right hand side. 90 minus p is tan inverse of 2.3730688055, and that value is obtained to be 67.149, and so from this we have obtained the p value to be 22.850, and so converting this decimal into degrees, you'll get it to be 22 degrees 51 minutes. This is the difference in longitude between the positions A and B. Next, they are asked to find the great circle cosat B, which means you just have to find angle B. Alright, similarly now what we have just in the previous case, we already know two sides, small b and small p, small b, small p, and need to find angle B. So we have now one identical pair, that is a pair with same letters, one side and angle of the same letters, and we have one side small p already. Next we have to make use of angle A only. We cannot make use of angle P, we have to make use of angle A, because if you take angle P then you will have two pairs with same letters, so you have to choose only angle A. Next, again by using 4-part formula, take the letters which are not identical, small p and capital A. So cos p, cos capital A is equal to, again we are writing sin p, this term has sin A. Now making use of the identical pair, you will have cot b, here you have cot capital B. This contains only sides, this contains only angles. Next, substituting whatever we know, and we are finally getting cot B to be minus cos 35 degrees cos 37 degrees divided by sin 37. This is nothing but cos 37 by sin 37 is nothing but cot 37 degrees. So after substitution and in your calculator, we get the value to be minus 1.0870514785. Again, as I said earlier, cot lies just between minus 1 to 1. This lies beyond minus 1. So we cannot apply cot here. We have to substitute it as tan 90 minus b equal to the right hand side. 90 minus b is equal to tan inverse of this value is 47.388, and so we have here b to be 137.38843799235. Now converting this into degrees, we get 137 degrees 23 minutes to be angle B.